Badang was released on January 15th, 2019, over 6 years ago. Does that make you feel old yet? He was popular in pro play at the time, but quickly dwindled into irrelevancy, but he spikes up every so often by players like Diablo. Now all of a sudden, I put Badang in my stream titles and get more views than without it. He's gotten absurd popularity recently, and at first I didn't really know why and underestimated his capabilities. But after I spent about half my current season playtime, as of recording this, I've also joined the fisting craze. For thou shalt not play ranked without being chain CC'd into a wall for millennia, whilst raging at your team for not banning Badang, while ignoring that you definitely could have done it, but you forgot to ban. I do believe Badang will be relevant in pro play, as Evo's Eldora has already used him in the current Snapdragon ESL, and a few other players, but the only one I remember is Eldora. Today I'm going to show you how to properly play Badang and tell you what to do and what not to do. Here are the timestamps for each section of the video. If you want to skip ahead, feel free to, but I would recommend watching everything, as there's several things you might not know and might be surprised to learn about. First, I'll go over what Badang's skills are and how to use them properly. Badang's passive, Chivalry Fist, gives Badang an empowered basic attack after every 4 basic attacks that does bonus damage and slightly knocks the enemy back. If the enemy happens to be in front of a wall, it will stun them against the wall for 0.6 seconds. This is an integral part of Badang's kit, as it is how you are able to permanently stun enemies. Badang's first skill, Fist Wind, shoots a giant fist at the enemy that pushes them back slightly, as long as they are not at the edge of the spell, and also does bonus damage around a wall if it connects to a wall. Fist Wind also applies basic attack effects, which allow you to stack Thunderbelt and proc effects like Endless Battle or Demon Hunter Sword. It also gives you 1 stack of Chivalry Fists, since it is considered a basic attack. A common misconception about Fist Wind, and that I've seen a lot of people say in my stream comments, is that the emblem Brave Smite does not apply, but it in fact does apply. Even though Fist Wind applies basic attack effects, it still has the pushing effect that is from the skill itself. So as long as you don't hit enemies on the edge, or you hit them next to a wall, it will proc Brave Smite healing. Arguably Badang's most important skill, his second skill, Fist Break, is a slow but far dash that gives you a shield after use. If you collide with an enemy, you do a little bit of damage, and you stop and create a wall behind them. Now since there is a wall behind the enemy, you can continuously knock them back into it and chain CC them with the rest of your kit. Something you may not know is that whenever you knock back enemies into the wall, they actually take bonus damage. Now this has to be the Fist Break wall, not just the natural terrain wall. That is part of the reason why Badang can hurt so much. You have all these little sources of base damage from his kit alone to kill enemies with. Now you don't always have to dash in the backline to hit your wall and use your full combo. The Fist Break wall actually appears a few meters behind the opponent you hit. So if there's a tank in front of the enemy goal laner that you wish to ult, you can use Fist Break on the tank and the goal laner will be caught off guard, as they have been walled even though they had not been hit. You can then proceed to use your combo and destroy your enemies. Badang's third skill, his ultimate, Fist Crack, makes Badang immune to CC and sends out a flurry of punches that hits enemies multiple times. Fist Crack is essentially just a lot of fist winds being shot out at once, so it applies basic attack effects and knocks back enemies the same as Fist Wind does. You can always use your ult against walls for maximum CC and damage as well. Nothing much to be explained about his ult, it's pretty easy to understand. Now I will give you examples of Badang combos for different situations. Badang's combos are pretty straightforward, with more variation being dependent on where you are, not about which skill to use first. What I mean by this is the fact that Badang's damage comes from the enemy being knocked into a wall. If you are able to knock them into a wall without using your dash wall, you should always take the opportunity to. Do keep in mind, this only really applies to early or mid game, where you don't have enough cooldown reduction to use Fist Break on repeat, or if you know the enemy doesn't have any mobility to escape with. Because if they have a mobility spell, they're just going to use it before you have the opportunity to actually use your Fist Break. The fastest damage combo is 2-3-1 basic attack. If you want a longer CC combo versus a tankier enemy, use 2-1-3-1 basic attack, and then 2. This combo is only usable if you have max CDR, but it will make your enemy hate life and not be able to move. If you want the most CC within the shortest time frame, the best combo is 2-1-3-1 basic attack. This combo combines the CC combo and the damage combo for the best of both worlds and a little bit of middle ground area. Going into a team fight, there's no need to rush a set. Be patient and wait for an ideal opportunity. Be aware of your team if whether they can follow up on your set or not. If they can't, your engage will be wasted. If the enemy tanks are too far forward, you can use Fist Break to isolate them from their backline, and your team can freely burst them. On the contrary, if you can dive on the backline, as long as it's within a team fight, it doesn't matter whether your team can follow up or not. Because of Badang's absurd CC time, you could chain CC them for so long that by the end of it, the enemy tanks should be dead and your team is ready to collapse, or you somehow, and I don't mean somehow, I mean most of the time, burst them down to where they die or run, and then you collapse with the rest of your team. That's part of what makes Badang so strong. Due to his CC, it's actually hard to make bad plays. You get away with so much because of your short cooldowns and annoying pushback. Going into lane phase, you typically want to avoid fighting level 1, as you are weak without your second skill to combo off of. Once you are level 2 and your lane opponent either use their dash skill or don't have a dash skill, you can engage with Fist Break and throw a Fist Wind into them. If they are a strong early game hero, you want to disengage right after you use both skills. If they are not a strong early game hero, you will keep fighting them and they will either be forced to flicker away or they will greed and be very low on HP, giving you an opportunity to rotate. Keep doing this while being aware of enemy rotations. By the time turtle spawns, your opponent will be either forced to reset or too low to fight turtle and unable to assist their team. Now keep in mind, you are a tank Badang. You don't want to be perma-splitting the whole game. You want to be rotating and actively helping your team. You can do a lot more that way. I don't like seeing full tank players staying in one lane and then eventually getting outscaled. Yet another reason why Badang is so good is that he has little to no counters. It makes him such a good early pick in drafts since there is no counter pick. Since you can just farm from a distance if the enemy is too strong, and simply out-trade with your first and second skill if they try to fight you. The only real weakness Badang has is his slow wave clear. In my experience, the best hero picks first Badang is split push farm heroes or fast clear rotating tanks. You're not going to solo kill Badang in the 1v1. But by keeping him away from helping his team, you're forcing him to solo lane, or out-rotating him because his wave clear is slow. You're making his pick not as useful. But isn't that crazy that the only counter I can think of is by staying in the lane and just splitting and hope he stays in lane to make him less valuable, or just playing another tank and then out-rotating him. I love XP lane this season. The reason why I left emblems and items for last is because I see most guides talk about emblems and items first, but I think explaining how the hero works helps you, the viewer, understand the hero first, and helps you understand why certain items are so good and why they should go these emblems. There's not much flexibility in Badang builds. It's mostly the same, minus your last few items. First item will always be Thunderbelt, as it is super easy to get stacks on Badang. The most stacks I've hit is actually 134. If you're curious, check out the video below. Your next purchase will always be boots. Always purchase magic shoes, as you basically require cooldown reduction to make Badang work. Faster cooldown reduction means the faster you get Fist Wind back, which means more Thunderbelt stacks. Also means more Fist Break walls to chain CC and faster ults to use. If the enemy has a ridiculous amount of CC, then I recommend swapping to tough boots later in the game. Third item should be Oracle, as it gives you magic resist and armor, along with CDR, which you so desperately need. The unique passive Oracle also buffs your Fist Break shield, which helps a lot with your survivability. Now, even though you are at 30% CDR, and you could max cooldown reduction with another 10%, never build Brute Force. It is a garbage item for big tanks, and you will be too squishy building it even if it gives you a 10% CDR. At this stage of the game, unless you are very ahead, you are really not that tanky. Oracle and Thunderbelt are weaker defense items because they trade off for damage and cooldown reduction. Not to mention, you also have magic shoes, which offer no defense value. If the enemy team is smart and they CC engage on you, you will die quickly. It is best to go for hard, tanky items after you get your first 2 core and boots. For armor, either build Dominance Ice or Antique Cuirass, depending on the enemy physical damage dealers. If they have something like a Granger Gold and not a lot of it healing, Antique is better. But if they have an Irithel or Melissa, the dominance is much better. For magic resist, buy a silence robe first and then look at their mages. If they have a burst mage, you can buy Athenos. If they don't, then you can buy Radiant. If they have a burst mage, but that burst mage isn't focusing you at all, then you can buy Radiant, as it is a cheaper item. Your last item is where you have freedom of choice. I like to go one of 3 items, either Hunter Strike, Winter Crown, or Blade Armor. I build Hunter Strike if my team damage is weaker, or they're bad, and I need to do more damage to carry. I buy Winter Crown if I'm the only flicker engage and I have to dive under enemy base. I can use my ult, and then Winter Crown so that I won't die to tower. I buy Blade Armor, the combo with Dominance Ice versus crit gold lane marksmen like Layla, Mia, Melissa, and Iritho. I guarantee you, with Dominance Ice and Blade Armor, even if the enemy marksman has Wind of Nature to counter your burst, you will still win the 1v1 because of your consistent CC and reflecting damage from the Blade Armor. Never buy Golden Staff. It is not worth it. You are not 1v1ing enemies late game unless they are stupid. And if you buy it early, then you're too squishy and you will die. There is no point. It is an extremely self-centered item, and when your entire playstyle is supposed to revolve around setting for your team at that point in the game, it is stupid, selfish, and dumb. This will be the shortest section in the entire video. Damage Badang is horrible. Never use it. If you use it, I hate you, and you shouldn't even be watching this video. Always use Flicker for spell. For emblems, use Thrill or Swift for tier 1. Wilderness Blessing tier 2 so you rotate faster. And tier 3, I think you should always use Brave Smite, but some people like using Quantum Charge. It's up to preference. That's it.
Hello everyone. So today I'll be showing you 2 games in terms of review. One from this third-party viewer perspective, and then another game from my stream perspective. So you see it from like my POV without seeing everyone else on the map. So this first game we have here, it will be a sort of losing game at the start. I die trying to invade, and I die another time trying to make a play. So I'll show you, how my thought process is in a losing situation and how to be very careful when choosing to make plays. So this is a 5-man game, meaning it's a lot more sweaty. Meta picks on both sides, minus the gourd pick, which isn't horrible, but not top meta tryhard picks. So 5-man game, sweaty people. So first, always leash your buff a little bit. What you always should do if your jungler's on your side. Only situation you wouldn't do this is if they're playing like a Hilda or Khalid and they might cut wave. Then in lane, Phobius is pretty strong early game, probably one of the strongest early game heroes. So I can't be very aggressive versus him. Even if I do a second skill, first skill trade, I could still lose that trade because he gets shield from his passive and a lot of sustain. And he's also just quite tanky. So I play this lane save relatively safe. This lane phase is relatively safe. I just stay back, I hit wave, and I back up. I just make sure you last hit waves whenever you throw your punches. Try not to hurt the wave too much so they can't freeze it, because they can freeze if you shove too hard and then you're forced to walk up and you can get ganked. So I don't see the jungler on the map here, so it's a little risky for me to walk up. I realized this in hindsight. I got really lucky here. Don't do this. If you see your jungler is missing, do not walk up like I am here. I got really lucky because I threw a punch. Right here. So you tried jumping and I threw a punch and I pushed him back. So I just got lucky there, but don't do that. So waiting for first turtle here. Both mages have come to try and get 4 off XP wave. Now Phobius is walking really far up. I get my ult instantly here, but I should have ulted him, but I didn't. I wasn't really sure if I would follow up or not. I could have ulted him there, maybe kill, maybe not, because he has vengeance. But my Fanny, retro gaps to Suyu, we don't do much. Kind of an aggressive engage for my Hylos. I tried following up a little, like we should have backed off here. But you'll be able to tell that, we keep trying to show presence. So that Hylos gets almost caught out here. I would ideally just go back to my wave here and clear, and then maybe look for rotation. But Hylos pushes way too far. I make the mistake of trying to help him. And Fanny comes, and there's just not much I can do. I'm kind of just waddling around here, trying to make a play here, and it's just nothing. See? Bad engage is what I'm telling you in the guide already. Beware where your team is. If you're ulting alone, you're gonna die. It'll be pointless, and you waste your skills. I even wasted my flicker there too. That was like the worst thing I could have done. I did everything you shouldn't be doing. Pointless rotation, bad follow-up, and then I wasted my flicker. Literally everything I could have done bad, I did bad. So now we're a bit it's still gold-wise, we're a little even because Bruno's been winning this whole time. He just died though, but since his gold lead's been pretty ahead of Beatrix, we're still heading gold despite kill difference. So I'm just clearing. I can't be super aggressive versus Phobius, so I gotta be mindful of where I'm rotating. So here is my second death, which is super unfortunate. I see Aurora, no passive, also no flicker. I got on her, do a bunch of damage, literally 1 HP, and I can't get her. Brock ults me, Phobius kills me, and I'm dead. Super unlucky right there. I could have killed Aurora for free, but it's whatever. So bad start. Now we're almost even gold. So go back top. I catch this big wave. My Fanny goes crazy, gets another kill, gets a kill mid. Now I saw Phobius walk down here, and I decide that it's probably better for me to cut a wave because I'm like down a lot of gold compared to Phobius. If I rotate right now and I do another failed gank, Phobius would be like 1,000 gold ahead of me. So I decided it's best to be a little bit more selfish and get this wave here. But I'm not going to greed for this tower. Greeding for this tower is really bad because then I'm just essentially giving up on this potential team fight going on down here. So you might think, oh, this team fight the lost cause, but I see a lot of them are actually really low. And I don't know if you retreat, but considering some of them are really low, I'm just taking a gamble that he did retreat. So I'm showing presence. And he did retreat, so my gamble is correct. So as soon as he backed off, I knew it. He right away, he did not have retreat. So I just played zoning. I walk up and I walk back. I walk up and I walk back. Now I see Grok way too out of our position here. I ult him for a free kill. Their Phobius as well is quite low. And then my Fanny wins the retreat gap. And then right here, I got a 2-man wall. And then boom, we're back in the lead. Now right there was really patient from me because I saw some of them were low arriving here to this turtle. But it was a 3v5 because 2 of my teammates were dead. I waited for my teammates to respawn and walk all the way back before making a play. And I stalled as well by just showing presence and then backing off. By not committing too hard, not whatever. If I committed too hard earlier, all they gotta do is rush turtle to get it and they get out for free. But because I played patient and I waited for my team to come up here again, it was just a landslide of a fight. And then we lose nobody. So right there is how we climb back our lead. I also just chased Beatrix down here. Come here. Yeah. Yeah. And I still have a flicker here. There's no need to waste it. Grok's not going to kill me. I just dash out, wait for the cooldown. Aurora can't do anything, and I'm home free. And with that play alone, we turned our even gold to a 3k lead. Now we are not only back in the game, but we also have a big lead. So I still can't fight Phobius. He will still murder me. He's still... I'm a tank. He is a bruiser with War Axe. He does damage. I don't know what goes on over here, honestly. Oh, good stun. My team is just winning with the lead that they got. So my team won a fight. There's no need to rotate. Wait, I rotate? Oh, yeah, okay. I see Phobius fighting here. Phobius is a menace with vengeance. He's literally winning 1v2. So I'm coming with the wall. Freeze. Bruno just hit him for free. Hylos does die, but we get the Phobius. So it's fine. It's a trade 1-for-1. Tank for XP. It means we get a free tower top. So I rotated Bruno top. Because since Hylos is dead, there's no rumor to play around. There's no roamer to play around Bruno. So instead, I choose to play around Bruno. So I'm not right here. I could have engaged right there if I was closer. But we just get tower. Bruno doesn't die. It's fine. So we have a pretty big lead. We just got turtle. We're looking to fight this blue here. They go in. Now right here, I'll pause it for a second. These Grok's looking to make a play, and their backline's right here. I could either A, wait for their backline to walk up and ult them, or prevent Grok from making a play. Now I think it's much better if their tank is walking up to make a play, just CC their tank. It doesn't matter if their backline tries to kill you. If your frontline can kill that tank, that means they have nothing to be scared of. I mean, your backline. So by getting rid of Grok here, ult CCing, and they're committing the Beatrix ults here, and I think Aurora does as well. Well, in a second. So they're committing spells onto me, but I'm super tanky. So now my backline can walk up for free because they don't have to be scared of this Grok making a play. So when they go in, they do damage. Aurora ults, I'm going to get hit by the Aurora ult, but it doesn't matter because I'm a tank. So these two die. Okay, you flickers for that. And then even the Aurora dies of Fanny. Oh, he doesn't die. My point is, like, you don't need to have flashy backline plays. Just make a smart decision on your team situation and then base that decision like on that judgment. If I look at my comp, right, I should have said this first, but my comp is not a dive comp. Fanny is, but Bruno and Gord aren't super dive. They're very long range. So how I play this game is not to make big plays, but more so peel my backline. Peeling is in using my skills to prevent their divers to kill my backline. And then also, like, I'll go in for plays when the opportunity is only right. So right here, I see the 3 launched up. They got stunned. I flicker in. Boom, double stun. And we'll like that fight right there. So right there was an opportunity where I saw them make a play because they dove really hard. If Badang's counter engage is so strong because AoE and just a lot of CC. Killers, we get a free Lord. All I'm doing is zoning. I'm not going to hit Lord like an idiot. I'm a tank. I can zone. I'm not going to walk too far up to where Brocky just ults me and kills me. But I'm just going to keep farming stacks and make them scared. Oh, that's how he got it out. Okay. So my high lows kind of forced way too much there. Wasn't the greatest. Not the end of the world though. Just sink the waves, push all lanes. Ah, shoot. Oh, you couldn't see what happened there, but Phoebe just went in. I just CC'd him and I killed him. I'm quite low though. But I just played relatively safe. I'm not going to recall because we have Lord push. If I recall right now, it's kind of bad. And then, our Lord's wasted. Wait, what is this? So he's dead. Now we don't have a wave here, so I'm not going to flicker engage. I have flicker right now. I'm just going to go shove mid so we can get this mid tower and potentially this bot tower. We have mid and bot wave. They're going to sync up here. So this will be a pretty good push. So they want to agree for this mid tower because it's quite low. Hylos gets quite low, but their whole team is backed up anyway. It's free. Ult on the Beatrix. She dies. Really slow. Now, I look for a play here, but nobody's close enough to follow up. It's fine. I back off. I canceled my ult there because I knew nobody was following up. That's something to be mindful of as well. Like, if you know nobody's going to follow up, just cancel your ult and back off. It's a very fast cooldown. So Su jumps on my Bruno. I know to heal him because I'm waiting for someone to engage. And we get that guy for free. That's just GG. So, I hope you realize that game, I didn't, go in looking for highlights all the time. I just played to scare the enemy, to peel my backline, mostly my Bruno, to where it's just, they can never make a play. And then that's how it's easy. How you do it in a losing game where you have a backline that's, not so divey. You need to appeal for them. So, on to the next game. And here we are with game 2. So I went to my stream to show this game because this is a game where I did quite well despite dying once early game. And this is trio queue. So this isn't as try hard as the previous game. Keep in mind. So you'll see stuff like, you see the sun, you see Julian jungle, stuff you'd see in like solo queue. Which might be relevant to most of you get a lot of guys watching, honestly. So I actually don't leash here because I'm late to realizing the game has started. I'm probably looking at Discord or something. So if you are late to the game, don't bother don't bother leashing for your jungler because you might miss a minion in your lane. So I am versus Sun. Excuse my dog barking. But Sun's pretty weak early, so I can actually play a little aggressive, walk up, maybe look for some damage. He's not really doing anything too aggressive, he's waiting as well. I actually get caught out here and die early, you'll see in a moment. So right here, I waste my dash like an idiot, and I try to stop this guy. So he Petri's on me, and then Julian combos me. So first mistake I did here was I dashed. I should not have dashed. I dashed just to last hit, and I don't know why I dashed. I probably would have been dead anyway, whether I dashed or not, because of the Petri. But I still should never dash. Or walk up if I already dashed. So for whatever reason, Julian tries to come around here. I just dash away, and then ignore that.
Now the Sun greeds for tower plating versus a Badang. That's a no-no. I'm saving my dash for a bit so I can combo my first skill. If you don't have a first skill to combo your dash with so you can do a CC chain, there's almost no point in dashing. Unless you have a teammate nearby. Because otherwise you'll just dash and they instantly flicker. You can't have an opportunity to do damage. So right now, he did damage and my cannon is there. I mean, not, yeah, my cannon, sorry, is taking all the damage of his wave. He has to walk up to get the cannon or he loses it. So I zone him and he just dies. Because this guy is like, oh, I need my cannon, and it doesn't matter. So always look at your lane state, and especially how much health your opponent has. And this matters so much more before turtle. Because if you deny them a wave before turtle, they are not level 4 for turtle. And then you just win turtle fight. Well, you should at least, because you have level 4 advantage and they can't even fight. So I saw right here, right away, this minion is taking aggro. Like, my cannon minion. That's the most important minion in your lane phase early game. So seeing that, I'm like, okay, let me walk up far here, because I know he's low, and don't let him hit it. So he tries to walk up anyway, like an idiot, and then he just dies. Because ranked players and solo queue players, like, do not know what to do when you do this. They don't understand the concept of freezing, because it's a more high-level strategy. So they just die. They cleed, and the Sicilian try to salvage something. I need to flicker here so I don't die. And I sidestepped that. But since I sidestepped it, he overcommitted. And then my teammates are pretty close. Good flicker ult. I ult the wall here. By the way, I don't need my second skill to connect. Because if you ult the wall, they get stunned. And it does bonus damage still. And then they die. I don't know how the Sicilian lived there. That was crazy. And then Zia, being the blind monkey he is, doesn't even notice the sun right there going on him. And he dies. And so does my teammates. So we have to give turtle, despite winning that fight top, which is unfortunate. Oh, and I die here again to the petrify, don't I? This tilted me a little, because the second time I die now to this guy's petrify. A little bit of a tilt there. So I go back to lane, because it's still early game, no point in rotating. Sun's here. He ulted for whatever reason, so I just back off and wait. Not a great situation on my bot side. So right here, I see on the map, my team's fighting a little bit. I zone the sun a little, and I just ult right here because I see a perfect lineup of Sicilian and Sun right next to each other. So both get stunned into the wall and take bonus damage. Then Tig with a big ult. Then I wall for the cleat so he can't escape. And boom. Okay, never mind. He does escape. Never mind. Again. 0 for 3. Big for us. I see Julian in the corner of my map right there. So I know he's coming. So I play up far left so he doesn't get the jump on me. And I just saw him full combo. So now since he has no combo, I'm just poking him out. I want to bait him in. He makes the mistake of dashing. But my teammates aren't nearby, so I don't overcommit. And then they try to do the same thing again. And I'm not falling for it this time. Did he Petri here? I couldn't. No, he didn't. It'd be funny if he did. He Petri's right there for some reason. Because I think he thought the Julian would help. I ult right here. So I'm CC immune. I could have probably just flickered and not take the damage. Well, or not ult even. But I always try to greed my flicker. That's why I ulted first before trying to flicker. I'm quite low here, so I'm not going to go in too deep, especially versus Julian. Jade makes it questionable. I see Julian dash. Like, of course I'm going to kill him then. He just dashed away like an idiot. And then just keep doing badang things, you know? Badanging around. Bading-a-ding. Bading-a-ling. So right here, there's no top tower, so there's no reason to go back top. I am a tank who's supposed to rotate. And the turtle will spawn bot side. My marksman just died, so I'm going to go bot so they can't get a bot tower. and I see a fight happening in the jungle. So I rotate over to the jungle, but nothing happens. So then I clear bot. This Wen is still here. I don't think I kill her. I don't know how that wall connected, I'm not gonna lie. Dice the link. So she greeted because she wanted to take the tower because she knows she killed the Layla. That's why I came down, so they can't do it. But then Sun gets my top tower anyway. We get an advantage because we got a kill for it. Or, I'm sorry. That's not really a big advantage, but... So, no side lane towers. The only thing we left now is the pressure mid. So, hope to try to get a mid tower. Or mid prile before first turtle. One or the other. Poking out Khalid pretty hard. I just see the Julian and Khalid stack onto each other. It's perfect ult. Perfect ult for free. Now Wen, for whatever reason, is trying to flank. She actually gets one with the ults. Tigreal tries to get one. We clean up. Nothing really special to note about this fight. Just basically them walking into me and me just doing free damage. Yeah, this Julian was really bad. Looking at it now, he just kept wasting his dash. It was just a free kill over and over. It's on Petri, but it just doesn't matter. I'm so tanky. I have 33 stacks. I flicker there because I think if I get stunned by Sicilian, I might just die. I don't risk it. Sun's trying to split here. Alright, we're just gonna kill him. Really, we don't even need to watch this. So this game's kind of a stomp. Yeah, we couldn't tell already. It's trio queue. But I'm just showing you what my thought process is with, you know, my limited point of view. So here, if you can't notice already, I angle my ult towards the wall so that I get that stun and bonus damage instead of just ulting in the air. Something you should always do if you don't have your wall up. Sure. Okay. The sun. Nope, it's sun. Nothing to expect there. I shove the opposite wave because I don't want the Julian nor Sun to be splitting for our top high ground before Lord. Always try to shove the opposite wave before Lord so you have that priority. Ideally, you have your assassin do it because they clear faster, but you aren't always going to have that communication in, you know, solo, duo, trio queue. So I was just doing it on my own. So this is just a free kill. Kind of didn't need to ult, but whatever. I go for the Cecil. He's off guard. You can easily solo like backliners if you're just a 1v1. Catch him out of position. I try to force on Khalid here so we can get the high ground, but my teammates just focus the tower, which is fine. Doesn't matter. Can't end though. I see Sun trying to flank on the left, so I stop him. I don't let him, so he just retreats. And then Zia, the blob, dies. Kind of got to back off. Kind of a bad death to die there, Zia. Julian tries to go for his buff. I ult there because I see him put a skill down, meaning he could use the enhanced dash. But I think he might have wasted it somehow and got CC canceled. So I wasn't going to greed for that. I'm not going to force engage just yet. Wen tries to do an engage on me. I just CC her and she dies. Khalid tries to go in. Just kill him as well. And it's just GG here. Bang. Against the wall. And he lives. But whatever. So, if you couldn't tell already, there's a big difference between 5-man and trio queue. Trio queue, I play a lot more reserved. I'm sorry. 5-man, I play a lot more reserved, careful, calculative. Because, you know, you have to be 5-man. Solo duo, trio queue, you'd be a bit more reckless. You can tell I have a lot more stacks in the solo duo trio queue game because I'm trying to farm for stacks. You kind of have to carry harder. You can tell by my stats as well. You know, I played to try hard this game. I'll hide my camera. You can see I did more than my own marksman. I did the most in this game, actually. So I play more of a carry playstyle in trio queue because that's kind of what you have to do. Trio queue is where you go for the big plays, big damage, try to kill backline. 5-man's where you try to help your team out more, essentially. And both games, I, you know, made a mistake in the early game. It wasn't a great start. I didn't, you know, have 3 solo kills and then pop off. I would die quite a few times in the laning phase. And that's it for terms of review. So I hope you understand the key points I mentioned. Have any more questions? Comments below. Something I did not really talk about much is the Thunderbolt stacks. I think I just said it, but I'll repeat myself again. Don't try to force stacks in 5-man. It's not as important because you're supposed to be like a communicative team. Like, you can get caught out trying to force stacks. Trio queue, I'm all for it. I'm all for it for just farming stacks and then being super tanky and then doing more damage. Then carry harder. You just gotta, although Badang is simple to use, there's a lot of ways you can utilize him, and there's a lot of bad ways you can mess it up. So just make sure you choose the right decision and you don't make a greedy choice. That's all I have to say. So to summarize everything, Badang is broken and you should abuse it. I did hear he was getting nerfed, and hopefully this video comes out before the nerf comes, but post-nerf, I'll leave it in the comments what my thoughts are, and hopefully he doesn't get nerfed too hard. Because it's such a shame when an older hero resurfaces in the meta with their own unique way, just to get put back in the closet in the next patch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments what you thought of it, as I don't do these too often. Anywho, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next stream. Thank you for watching.